the federal government ordinarily should have seen how to locate these seaports, of course, down to the southeast Nigeria or the south-south to serve this part. Yeah, good afternoon and welcome to this wonderful episode on Novel TV Live. My name is Chidi Peters. And of course, I'm going to concentrate my discussion this afternoon on decentralizing Lagos seaports and airports. It's no news that all 99% of goods arriving in Nigeria only ends at Lagos seaports. And of course, the final destination of close to 80% of this container is headed to southeast Nigeria, and of course, 10% or 5% heads to northern Nigeria, and the rest is concentrated and sold in Lagos, Nigeria. In these circumstances, recently, the federal government of President Muhammadu Buhari decided to build a gigantic project amounting into billions, what they call Kano Dry Seaports. That means that all goods arriving in Nigeria and headed to Kano are transported by haulage by federal government as a subsidy rate to this dry seaport in Kano, from where the goods are or the consignments are taken. But here you are, the ones that are destined to southeast Nigeria have to first of all stop in Lagos, Nigeria, before our businessmen and industrialists and companies begin to pay extra cost of money, running into millions per 30-feet container to transport the goods to their final destination in southeast. And yet, southeast Nigeria have plenty of waterways, even that was used during the Biafran War. Let me take for instance, Sapele Plywood Company used to ship in plywood in a deep sea port in Sapele, and of course, it only cost federal government some few amount of money to dredge this river. And of course, we have the Cocoa River. We have the Warri Wharf, which have been moribund for several years. We have the MPA Wharf, which has been moribund for several years. And we have the One Wharf, which work in low capacity. And of course, we have the Eagle Net Wharf, Badge. And of course, we have the Ibeto Bundoama Wharf that brought cement into these people. And yet, federal government have not found any of these seaports to be dredged to serve the southeast part of Nigeria. Instead, the Niger Bridge or the River Niger has been politicized over several years. And we continue to receive several historic news of dredging of the Niger and building of seaport in Onitsha, which have never come to be. And yet, 90% of goods arriving in Nigeria, or 80%, are headed to southeast Nigeria. Who is treating who? Who is fooling who? That's a serious question we have to ask. During the Biafran War, the Osakwe rivers or wharf in Ihiala was used to convey a lot of goods, and yet, till now, nothing has happened. We also talk about the Oguta Lake is also a very deep distance that has not been used. Now, the appeal is for several federal government to estimate and see how they can dredge this river to serve the southern east part of Nigeria. And of course, the waterway have tried to see whether they can develop a dry seaport in Onitsha where goods that arrive in Lagos can be shipped through a small batch to Onitsha, but yet it's not serving the people of Anambra State, it's not serving the people of Southeast Nigeria, and they have to spend millions to bring in their goods. And that, of course, have to be calculated or imbued in the cost of every goods brought in into the country. And of course, that will increase the cost of every goods and services as the case may be. Now, moving down to Lagos. Lagos has close to 3 seaports. And of course, the 4th one was just built. According to Lagos State Government, it's a partnership between Lagos State Government, Nigerian Port Authority, and the Chinese company. Well, that's a good one. But the federal government ordinarily should have seen how to locate these seaports, of course, down to the southeast Nigeria or the south-south to serve this part. And again, the question remains, what has stopped federal government from making the One seaport to work in full capacity? What about the Calabar seaport that has remained moribund as the case may be? And of course, like I said earlier, the MPA, Port Harcourt, the Bundoama, which is the Ibeto jetty, is there. And of course, the Eagle Net jetty is there to serve these purposes. But of course, the federal government have chosen to look the other way around. They're looking at the airport. Thousands of our people that travel from Southeast Nigeria have to pass through the process of going to Lagos, Nigeria, for them to be able to fly out of this country. And of course, if you're opportune to board any international aircraft, you find out that 60 to 70% of passengers in every aircraft that are the last destination to Southeast Nigeria. Yet, they only have to land in Lagos, Abuja, or as the case may be, Kano, and begin to find alternative en route back to their destination. Whereas, in the Southeast Nigeria, we have the international airport in Enugu, which only have one Ethiopian airline that comes there once in a month or once in a blue moon. Of course, we have the international cargo airport in Owerri, and of course, ever since its creation, I don't think any cargo airport have landed there. Of course, we have the international airport now in Umueri in Anambra State. I've never seen a cargo airport or international airport landing there. And of course, the Ebonyi State airport is 99.99% completed. We hope that that will also serve its purpose, because these are international airports that can contain the landing of Boeing 77. And yet, the federal government have no reason why they should give Southeast opportunity to have international airports or international aircraft having their hubs in the Southeast Nigeria. Well, you call it marginalization. Well, I will not say that. Call it political manipulation. I didn't say that, but it's all the same. Southeast Nigeria deserve a fair share of even developments, not minding whether they're defeated in the war or not. When you want to heal the wound to heal well. The man who is traveling from Haji in Kano or in Nasarawa or in Maiduguri have to just do a small detour to Kano to shuttle down to Hajj, while the man who must travel to Israel for pilgrimage have to travel all the way from whatever part of the Southeast to Lagos, Abuja, before he board an aircraft, when the Southeast can boast of 4 major aircraft. Adding it to South Nigeria, you now talk about 2 airports in Delta State, 1 airport in Bayelsa, 1 airport in Port Harcourt, and of course, 1 airport in Akwa Ibom. Yet, the federal government have not been fit to decentralize Lagos to ensure that international aircraft land in this airport. Well, it's a plea to the federal government to decentralize Lagos in terms of shipments by waterways and air travel by aircraft. This is where I'm going to drop today. We'll continue in the next episode. My name is Chidi Peters Korea. Just like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye-bye.